However, these kind of calls that have now been made to boycott Turkey, its products and tourism as well. Srinjoy is also connected with us. Srinjoy, good morning. The ground handling seems to be also a sensitive affair as far as multiple of these airports are concerned, which are the busiest airports across the country. Now, as far as the involvement of a Turkish firm is concerned, the issue that was raised, the action that was taken, and the response that is now coming in.
Well, first of all, the Turks have helped Pakistan militarily for years. And the most important thing that they have given to the Pakistan Armed Forces are MILGEM corvettes for the Navy. And those are very well-established corvettes which the Pakistani Navy at that point needed. Because let's not forget that the West has really turned its back on Pakistan, mostly as far as weapons are concerned. Because now that the Americans have nothing to do with Pakistan anymore, they don't have to send their logistical stuff to Afghanistan via Karachi. The West has no use for Pakistan. So the only places Pakistan can go to for weapons is China, of course, and also Turkey. Now, those corvettes, those drones, and other stuff, for instance, whenever there has to be refurbishing of the F-16s, they are often sent to Turkey for refurbishing. So the F-16s, the drones, the MILGEM corvettes, these are just three major weapon systems that Pakistan works with Turkey with. So these are issues that the people of India suddenly have realized that the Turks are really responsible. If there are drones coming towards India, armed drones and explosives in them, then, and they are Turkish made, then that's a direct attack on India.
Of course, and India is not taking that lightly as far as when it comes to Turkish involvement, whether it comes to trade, tourism, and even when it comes to aviation sector, all of that now that is being checked because there has been a growing clamor to boycott Turkey, to boycott its tourism, to boycott its products. Let's in the meantime talk about as far as the clearance, the security clearance that has now been revoked, all of the multiple airports, and we are talking about the busiest and highly sensitive airports across the country where they have been operating. Let's take a look exactly when it comes to their license that have now been cancelled. They have been operating at Delhi's IGI airport, in Ahmedabad airport, in the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai. They were operating from Goa, in Bengaluru, in Kannur, in Kochi, in Chennai, in Hyderabad as well. So you can see as far as when it comes to its key operations are concerned, what did it involve in? That involved in passenger services. They involved when it comes to cargo, warehousing, ramp operations, and what is being said, over 58,000 flights a year with over 550,000 tons of cargo and 7,800 workforce that they have been using for their operations here in the country. Let's in the meantime also talk about when it comes to another breaking update. Indigo Airlines has now issued a statement with the ongoing air traffic between India and Turkey needs to be viewed in the context of air services agreement between the two countries and the overall construct of international air services to and from India. The India-Turkey ASA allows carriers of Turkey and India to operate on a total of 56 flights per week between India and Turkey, 14 flights from India to Turkey and 14 flights from Turkey to India, each by Indian carriers, and the same number of airlines are also from the Turkish firm. So let's get in a word from Sabya back again. What is this statement all about? Because there is the air traffic, the ongoing air traffic between India and Turkey. Indigo says that it needs to be viewed in the context of the air services agreement. What does it mean, Sabyasachi?
Well, see, Indigo statement does not align with the current statement that we are seeing, where the statement continuously is rising against Turkey. Now, Indigo highlights the code share that is being shared with Indigo and Turkish Airlines, and Indigo pointed out that how it is cost efficient to fly through Turkey, and how post-COVID, when the airfares are continuously increasing, the code share that is shared between Indigo and Turkish Airlines has provided a low-cost airline for Indian passengers. And also Indigo highlighted that how it has affected to connect people from the smaller cities in India to the United States, Canada and other parts of Europe. So clearly this message coming in from Indigo says that if this particular effect comes into play regarding, we are seeing that how the boycott Turkey sentiment is continuously rising. Now Indigo has pointed out that how in the past the alliance between Indigo and Turkish Airlines have helped the airlines to provide cheaper tickets to the Indians and also connect smaller cities to the US and Europe as well.
All right. So an overall effect as far as when it comes to the flight paths and routes that are taken by airlines such as Indigo is something that it is highlighting. But exactly when it comes to the clamor of boycotting Turkey altogether, what would be the use of those flights from India to Turkey when passengers would go down significantly? We've seen the calls that are now coming in, many of them taking to social media to announce that they had planned a certain trip to Turkey, but they cancelled it and leaving as far as seeking no refund, or if it wasn't available, but they stood with the country. They say that national security is paramount. Let's in the meantime take a look when it comes to other institutes as well of getting the boycott call louder as far as when we speak of Indian varsities as well. They have had their shared MOUs or memorandum of understandings. Let's talk about first, which is Jawaharlal Nehru University as well. They had the shared MOU with the Inonu University from Turkey. However, that has been suspended. We also talk about with the MOU that another university, which is the Jamia Millia Islamic University in Delhi, they also had an MOU which was affiliated institutions of like government of Turkey. That MOU has also been suspended. We talk about another university, which is the Maulana Azad National Urdu University in Hyderabad. They had an MOU with Yunus Emre Institute of Turkey, and that too has been cancelled. And similarly, we are looking at other steps that have been taken of suspending these MOUs that have also been followed by the Kanpur University as well. Let's